Perhaps love is like a resting place, a shelter from the storm. It exists to give you comfort, it is there to keep you warm. And in those times of trouble, when you are most alone, the memory of love will bring you home. So, my name is Heather Fellows. I am a state certified music therapist, a board certified music therapist. I've been doing this for about 17 years now. Much of my practice has been in psych, working with people with mental illness, and helping them with coping strategies, helping them learn to deal with whatever it is that they are, being faced with at the moment, and also helping them with processing through grief and loss. So, music can be very helpful when it comes to helping people in bereavement or dealing with grief and loss. I think one of the most powerful things that music helps with is to help people to connect emotionally to what it is that's going on with them. There's something about music that just, you start playing the song and boom, it's just that emotion is just right there. For example, if I came to a group or was in front of someone who was dealing with grief, and we were talking about maybe what it was that they were facing, and I started to play something like, and I started singing, I will remember you, will you remember me? Even just those few seconds of the music starting and holding that space, that's all it takes sometimes for people to just connect right there with the emotion. It just comes. And so one of the really important parts of grieving is our ability to do that, our ability to connect with emotion, and that's where music really helps us out. Sometimes we get really guarded when it comes to dealing with grief. Nobody wants to feel pain. And so one of the things, the ways that music is powerful in this whole thing is that it's going to help you to get past that, to move through that avoidance and move more into an acceptance of kind of the loss itself. When somebody's loved one dies, some of the steps to recovery or some of the things that they really need to do to kind of get through that. Number one is acceptance, always. Being able to say, my loved one died, being able to kind of wrap your head around that. What does that even mean to me now? So that acceptance piece is really, really important. The next step is more about feeling. It's more about allowing yourself that space for emotion, being able to feel even the stuff that is really hard to feel, and feeling like you can do that in a safe place where you're supported. Then, you take a look at what it's like to live, to adjust to life without your loved one. Being able to kind of create this identity of who am I now, that maybe I was wife, maybe I was parent, maybe I was child. And who am I now that person is not here in my life anymore? And what does that mean for me as far as my future? And that's where people can sometimes get pretty hopeless because their person is gone, and so they don't have that identity anymore. So helping somebody to kind of come to the acceptance, and then also think about, who am I and what do I want my life to look like at this point? And then you kind of get to a moving forward point. What are some goals that I want to set for myself? Helping them to come to a place of hope for their future rather than despair. So as a board certified music therapist, I'm trained to not only play the song, perform the song, and kind of create that space, but I also am looking at what it is that the person really needs. kind of assessing that need and then being able to address that. My goal is to help them to move through the process, not necessarily to just play for them or for them to feel calm because I'm playing the song. The real thing that we're trying to get to is the nitty-gritty part of dealing with the loss, and that's something that as a music therapist I'm skilled and trained to do. Even as your hands are shaking and your faith is broken, even as the eyes are closing, do it with a heart wide open and say what you need to say. 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 This song would be a great opener for helping someone to actually express the words that they need to say. Maybe there are things that they weren't able to say to their loved one before they passed. Maybe there, are words that they still need to say about how they feel about it. But just bringing the music, creating the space, analyzing those lyrics, helping them think about what it is that the song is saying and how that relates to them and where they're at, could just open that door for them, where they may not have felt like there was a space for them to do that before. So one of the really great things that we can use music to do is to help people to remember their loved one. This is really important in the process, and being able to move on. We're always going to have those things that trigger us emotionally, that are going to bring back a little bit of that emotional pain for us and help make us miss the person that we lost. But being able to use music to do something like maybe create a legacy project where we're putting together music and video to help them, as a tangible thing that they can go to remember. Another idea is songwriting. Songwriting can be huge for helping people to express the way that they feel, to say the things that they need to say, and to have that also, again, another tangible memory, something to hold on to make sure that they're honoring their loved one as they're moving forward. And in those times